Now, as Drake has flooded the internet this week with new content from his 100 gigabyte leak, which has featured everything from never before heard songs to clips of him making some of his most iconic albums. Within all of this never before seen media that seems to be taking a look onto the past and pretty much trying to make us all remember the times where Drake seemed to be on top and delivering the world music that at the bare minimum most people liked. As all of these videos of the old Drake have been getting posted on every single corner of the internet, Drake's also been leaving a breadcrumb trail that when you follow, is leading people to his next major move, which isn't just gonna be the release of new music. But from the way he is setting things up to be, it'll be some sort of a round 2 against Kendrick Lamar and potentially a lot of the other artists who dissed him, but now this time around. It doesn't seem like Drake is going to be hopping back into the booth and making more songs like Push-Ups and Family Matters, which considering how that went for him definitely seems like a smart thing on his end, but instead, he is going to be reigniting this beef within a way that is much more catered to his style and strengths, but to figure out exactly where he's going to go with this, all we have to do is look at Drake's recent activity, and now before we can get into Drake's actual plan for this round 2, it's important to understand why Drake did not just hop into dropping more music and taunting Kendrick or any of his other opponents again, but instead has released 100 gigabytes of content, because with this move, as Drake has released so many clips that included him recording hit songs, explaining the inspiration for those iconic hits, and even see him laying down reference tracks for other rappers, by showing the world all these moments and of course having all these clips circulate around the internet, Drake has quietly been conditioning people to accept him once again and forget about the disaster class that has been the last few months of his career, because while his run of songs and the finale in the Kendrick Lamar beef hurt his image pretty severely, having all of these clips that people are still unpacking go around the internet and reveal to us new lore and show off Drake's creative process when he actually was releasing music that people somewhat enjoyed is changing the narrative around him slowly without doing actually anything. But now beyond this, which is pretty much just a distraction from the current train wreck that is his career at the moment, Drake has been using not his website but social media to reveal his plan for this round 2 in the beef, and now as Drake made his own fake Instagram account that he has been posting to for months and just revealed to us called Plot Twist, where before Drake made this account public, it was just a private account that he followed and people took notice of and began to hype up and speculate what it could be. Now in addition to this page, it has been found that Drake follows another mysterious account, and here the bio on this page ends with the sentence, "Here we go again, round 2 fight." And now with this seems like another account that Drake has on private right now and will be going public with sometime in the near future. And now the bio for this page can really only be referring to one thing, and now building on these accounts that seem to be creating some sort of narrative for Drake and trying to line up what is on the radar for him. Drake has done even more teasing on the first burner account Plot Twist, as through many of his posts on this page, when you get through a lot of the pointless ones that really just make this account look like Drake's worst impression of making a second account like Kendrick Lamar did over a year ago. There is a post that has a picture of cases that say "No one likes us Euro 2024, and now with this. This is the second major part of what Drake is doing that is very important, because this is a clear signal that before the year ends, Drake is going to be doing some sort of show, experience, or maybe even an entire tour through Europe, and this is going to be the branding of the show, which is obviously a direct reference and flip of Kendrick Lamar's final Drake diss, Not Like Us, and the song's hook. And with this, we are seeing the strategy that Drake is seemingly adopting now to prepare for this round 2 with Kendrick Lamar, which is not going to be to fight back on the things that have been said, but instead is going to be to embrace them in his own way and try to throw them back in Kendrick's face. And while I don't know if this is going to work and how Drake is really going to make one of the most humiliating diss tracks ever released flip into something that will change the perception of it and him, but if you're going to name your tour this is the route he is going to be taking. And I think at least with these shows, one of the reasons he is going to do Europe specifically with this branding is because he will be treating this like he is punishing the US and all of its major rappers for turning on him, which is kinda clever, I guess, and will try to make some sort of grand point out of this. But again, it just does not seem like you are bringing the proper level of force to this situation considering where everything is at. But now the last piece of Drake's plan so far. We see all of this start to connect a lot more, and it really doubles down on the direction he is going to be taking this chapter of his career and these next disses for his opponents, because in line with all of these rumors and flipping the names of the music that was dedicated to you, Drake also seems to have revealed the title to his next album through a cryptic tweet that was not posted by himself, but through the man he is going to be releasing an entire collab album with this fall in Party Next Door, as Party posted and deleted, "We don't need you." And now with this, which is obviously mimicking the title of Future and Metro Boomin's albums We Don't and Still Don't Trust You, and knowing what we already know about how Drake is preparing to seemingly tour with a flip of the Not Like Us name, All of this starts to become a lot more clear, as it seems like Drake is going to fully be embracing his biggest rivals in Kendrick, Future, and Metro Boomin's disses, and then with this tour and collab album, his plan is going to be to pretty much shove everything they did right back in their face. And now just looking at the prospect of this move from Drake on paper, the fact that he's going to be releasing an album with Party Next Door, who is from Canada and on his OVO sound label, and beyond this, the project is going to steer away from hip-hop as it will be an R&B record, will definitely benefit the pettiness of this at least. Because if Drake can stay within his literal homeland and outside of the rap world and release something that can be great, it will definitely turn some heads. And if he tours through Europe and is able to match the crowd somebody like Travis Scott is bringing out right now, it will definitely speak volumes, and at least from an optics standpoint, will give him some major points. But at the same time of all of this, if all Drake's plan is to sing his way out of a beef, it does not seem like the best way to try and start some sort of a round 2 in this feud. Because while Drake may be able to exist outside of hip-hop and give us a couple of melodic hits, is this really going to do anything to not prove Kendrick right? Especially when Kendrick said things like this? I mean, his Universal Music Group, who is of course Drake's label, have claimed some of the song leaks he has posted to his burner account. Maybe this is a tease that there is still another project coming between all of this, or that we are going to be getting some sort of full-on diss tracks, but as it stands, and with all of the signs that Drake has been pointing to, which really shows that he is not going to be rapping for a long time, it looks like round 2 of this beef is gonna definitely come, as Drake pretty much tries to get himself back into the good graces of hip-hop culture by pretty much just making an album and doing a tour out of sheer pettiness. And if this really is what Drake is planning, considering the stakes of all this and the fact that even if this album and tour are a success by never dissing Kendrick head-on and lyrically at that, he will never be able to clear his name of all of the stains and will really only be helping Kendrick Lamar's agenda. While Drake thinks he will be doing something here that will change the tides of this beef, all it's really going to be doing is causing more chaos around his name, and with projects and moments that are going to directly be mirroring the branding of some of the worst things that have ever been released against him. At the end of the day, he will only further solidify his failure within the very DNA of his own music. And as Drake continues to stay so fixated onto this beef, while people, especially his listeners who are outside of the general hip-hop culture, will not care about this forever, by constantly bringing these moments back up and releasing music and experiences that are going to directly reflect what happened, he is going to forever embed this L into the very DNA of his entire brand. So with all that said, let me know, what do you think of this plan from Drake to diss Kendrick Lamar and his opponents again, and do you think this is going to work one bit, or does he just have to let this all go? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see why 21 Savage dissed Kendrick Lamar but then already apologized, check out the suggested video.